Last month, Barry Badger from HFM invited me onto his lunchtime show as part of my promotion of my latest book, The Body and the Bicycle Shed. I'd like to share that interview with you now and hope it provides some background to the writing of my mystery novels.
The world of Malcolm Noble's crime fiction.
And just coming up to 20 minutes to 2, and this is the time of the day when I'm joined by my guest here on this slot. And today, I'll have a warm welcome to a local author, Mr. Malcolm Noble. Very warm welcome to you, Mal.
How do you think?
And it's lovely to have you here today, because I know you're always extremely busy, to say the least, and thanks for sparing the time there. Now, Malcolm, you've done, you're on your 13th book, or you just completed your 13th book. Where do you find the time to write all these novels?
Oh, well, it's getting more and more pressing, Barry, I have to say, but I enjoy doing it, so I can always find 5 minutes to sit down and scribble.
Well, I know with a lot of the, the authors we've had in over the years, writing, a novel does take quite a bit of your time, and you need a little bit of quietness there. And
yeah, it takes me about 4 months to do.
Really?
And yeah.
Now, 13, let's hope this one is lucky for you. I hope you're not superstitious. So, writing those novels, now this present one you've done, I believe it's called...
The Body and the Bicycle Shed.
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to say that. Now, that has got a fantastic title. Now, this is based on a series that you've done. I think this is it the second book in the series?
This is the third in this
So you've done two. Peggy Pinch Investigates.
Yes, they're all set in 1926.
Okay.
And she is the wife of the village constable.
Right.
And she solves the murders for him.
Wow.
And in this one...
Sounds like he's got a good job then, doesn't it? She's doing that. So she's the undercover investigator,
She is, yes.
Wonderful stuff. Now, once you get the initial number one out of this series, and then you it's always easy to do a follow-on, but going into the third one, presumably it must be getting a little bit harder to put some more facts into it.
It's more difficult to keep it fresh. And fortunately, my readers are quite keen at letting me know what they think should happen in the next book. So there's always a bit of a clue there that they're edging me in one direction or other, and that helps.
Now, it's paperback, is it?
Paperback and hardback.
Paperback and hardback. And it's now, obviously, have you done the official launch now?
Yeah.
And it's now available, presumably, is it in Waterstones?
It's in Waterstones, on Amazon, wherever they sell books, to be honest.
Okay. Well, you must be, are you still using the same publisher now?
Yeah, I've got a great relationship with them.
I was just going to say, that must be good, because that's always the hardest thing, isn't it, getting the first one published, but once you get moving, and everybody's sort of...
I know them all very well now. So
okay. So you know what they want for publishing.
Right. Yeah.
Is there normally a little bit of editing in each book that you do? Do you just sort of put some add-ons in? Because presumably, when it's published, presumably they have a bit of a change round, do they?
Less and less of that, because I know what, as you've just said, Barry, you know what they want, you know what people are going for.
Okay. Now, just back to this little bit of a series there. I mean, does your imagination run away with you when you're writing the, the notes about it? You know, presumably you'll pick up... You can't just do one chapter. You'll do a bit, and then you'll have a think about it, and then perhaps go and leave it for a while, and then come back to it. Is that right?
It is quite right, yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to just get it out my system.
Yeah.
Even though I know something may not make it into the latest version, I have to get it out my system and scribble it away. And,
Okay. Can I just ask, how much is the book on sale for?
$7.99 in paperback, $9.99 in hardback.
Okay, so it's quite a nice sort of reasonably priced book, and it's one of the ones where you have a lot of authors do a series of books, and once you've done the first one and then the second one, and they say, well, I can't wait for this third one to come out. And it continues.
I hope it's like that.
Is there going to be... You've done 3. Is there going to be a follow-up?
Yes, certainly.
Wow,
certainly.
That is just amazing, isn't it? Now, I know you've been writing novels now for about 10 years.
That's right.
What made you sort of decide to get into that? I think I asked you this question before, but it's, new listeners listening, so...
Yeah. I was laid up in a hotel room, and I just wanted to write about Portsmouth in my childhood. And I just started to write some scraps about it, and then it developed into a story.
brilliant. And you know, you've also been won one or two awards as well, haven't you?
I mean, I was in the top 40 favourite historical novelists of last year, and I was nominated in Leicestershire for a Dagger in the Library series, but I didn't get through to the national bit. So,
is this all on recommendation, Malcolm, or is it just what people pick up and they do their reviews and things about these books?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
Recommendations do help, certainly.
Okay. And sometimes when people have your books, they actually send you gifts, don't they?
Oh, excellent! Yes.
What sort of things have you had? That
Well,
must be intriguing. Did they send you another book back and say, "Can you do something with this?" You know.
One of the nicest things I got recently was a poem written about me called "An Ode to Malcolm Noble," and it's now on my library wall at home. I've had a couple of dinky toys, which are models of the cars that the policemen drive.
Wow, that is amazing, isn't it?
And I can't explain this, but from two separate people, I've got jars of chutney. I mean, chutney does appear in the book, but yes, from two different people, I got different jars of chutney.
That is just absolutely amazing. Is that
so
quite
nice.
unusual for authors to get that? You don't know?
I don't know, but I'm always very grateful, because it's one thing to sit down and write a letter, but to actually go to the trouble of buying a present is very thoughtful.
Presumably, you know, going along and sort of going off and get a dinky toy, and you know, that's something related to the book. They sort of imagine it. Sort of,
yes.
Yeah. And also, you've had a pipe lighter.
yes.
Tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, one of the policemen is a pipe smoker.
Right. Okay.
And so one of the readers, I don't know if it's his father or grandfather, died, and so he sent me the pipe lighter because he knew it would be taken care of. And the same person recommended that the policeman should change his brand of tobacco.
Wow.
So we went along with that, and we changed the brand of tobacco. Okay. It's all good fun.
It's all down into the... Well, we're not going to go too much into the third book in references. I mean, just briefly, you mentioned about the policeman's wife who does the investigation, works out the crime. Is it based, this third book in that series, is it based on similarities in the crime, but in a different format, if that makes sense?
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm strongly advised if people have read the first two ones, can you just remind people of the two in the series?
The first one was called Peggy Pinch, Policeman's Wife.
Right.
The second one was Murder in a Parish Chest. Wow. And this one is The Body in the Bicycle Shed.
So they go on, don't they? There's, you know, you can add to all these, but you've got to put some content into the new one.
Yes, it's got to be fresh.
Yeah. Have you any thoughts about the future of the third one? Fourth one, sorry.
Yeah. It's in my mind, and it'll be there. It just needs to get it. It's a bit like jelly. It's just got to set a little bit.
Okay, so you're working on that one. Yeah. Well, we'll take a commercial break, some more music. We'll come back because I know you've got some public appearances coming up as well, and obviously we'd like to sort of help you with that, and perhaps a little bit more about the book itself. And do you do any book signing or anything? Have you done book signing?
Well, yes, done a dozen or so.
Yeah, that's good. What sort of comments have you been getting back from these? Oh, lovely to meet. I've read your books. You know,
exactly that. Yes, and it's very heartening.
Yeah. Do they sort of say to you, "Oh, blimey, you know, you've written this book. You're the author. I had no idea what you look like."
Exactly. They always say that I'm overweight.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I'll tell you what. We'll have some more music, and we'll come back to you in just a few moments' time.
This is HFM.
Well, it's just after 5 minutes to 2, and I've got a few more minutes with my guest today, of course, a local author, Mr. Malcolm Noble, who's on his 13th book. This is the third book in the series that we've been talking about, The Body in the Bicycle Shed. Now, Malcolm's goes out and does some personal appearances as well, don't you, Mel?
I do, yes. I've got one tonight at Arnsbury. With the WI there.
Okay. Well, you'll have cups of tea and cake tonight then, won't you, for that?
I will do.
Yeah.
And I hope that there's a competition for me to judge.
Is it? Do they normally get you doing something like that?
Oh, yes. It's good stuff.
Now, these sort of personal appearances, what do you sort of... Can I sort of ask you, not too in depth, but you do a talk. Is it talking about book as an author, what you do, or?
I tend to talk either about myself writing or about other people's work.
Okay.
And it's about an hour, and then if we're lucky, if the audience is a good one, then we can get going on to questions very quickly, because that's when it's sparky and enjoyable and fun.
I'm just interested to know, what sort of questions do they ask you at the end of your chat? How long does it take you to write a book?
Exactly.
That must be one of the
top ones. And then do you put real people into it, or is everybody made up?
Yeah. And that's the difference between fiction and non-fiction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite way round, isn't it?
And then it's quite often people will take an episode from the book and ask me if it really happened to me. And
that's a good one.
That's and mind you, that's nice, because it shows that they've read it.
Okay. And because you don't want anybody falling asleep, do you? Right?
Oh, don't let them do that.
Do you?
No.
Do you tap the table or something?
Yeah,
oh my goodness! And you can usually tell, but it's quite interesting to think that you can keep them going for you probably welcome that cup of tea at the end of it. Yeah. Okay. Now, just moving on to another one there. Would be Ladies Luncheon Club. Now, that sounds interesting. Is that a midday one or something?
That's a midday one, yeah. That's on the 14th of October. And I get a free lunch out of that one. So that one can't be bad.
Okay. So you are available for any chats, and people will come along and book you for that, and you're quite happy to go along.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And in regards to the books, people do probably come and ask you, and you say, "Well, I've got the latest one available. If anybody's interested in having a look." And do you bring one along, or two of them?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. And also, I know you've had some good praise from the press as well, haven't you? From different ones there. I've got one here based on a newspaper called the Nottingham Post. It says Malcolm Noble reads off his first-rate yarn.
Yes,
that's a good slogan, isn't it? Yeah. And another one is from the Historical Novel Society. Suspenseful, darkly funny, and beautifully written.
I like that one.
That is excellent. That's a good description.
Beautifully written would have been enough.
But the suspenseful, darkly funny, I thought that's good. Yeah. Very good words there by some of the press there. So listen, we're about out of time, but we're wishing you good luck with the launch of this new book. Just reminding people where they can get this book, got their hands on the book, and just tell them just final words.
Yes, certainly on Amazon, Waterstones, or you can always borrow it from the local library.
Okay, and just your final recommendation, Malcolm, about this series. Would you advise people, if they haven't read the first two, don't go just to number 3?
No, you join in wherever you want.
Okay, so you can pick up on it.
Yeah.
It's not a sort of follow-on. It's it's just a series of similarity of the stories that you've got in. Okay. Mel, thank you so much for joining us in, and thanks for joining us today. Good luck there. That's Malcolm Noble there, obviously local author. Just on his 13th book there. Pop into Amazon, get onto Amazon or pop into Waterstones. Have a look there. The Body in the Bicycle Shed. I'm sure you won't remember. Thanks again for joining us, Malcolm. Thank you.
My thanks to Barry Badger and everybody at 102.3 HFM, and my thanks to you for supporting the world of Malcolm Noble's crime fiction.
The world of Malcolm Noble's crime fiction.